This week's Grandmaster Nightfall is Fallen S.A.B.E.R, which happens to be arguably the easiest GM this season. Regardless, I wanted to make a guide explaining how to do this GM easy. With that being said, let's get to it. Let's start with Loadouts. This GM requires you to cover Barrier and Overload champions and Arc and Void shields. To start, have player number 1 running the following. For your primary, run Arbalest for anti-barrier. For secondary, run a Void Scout Rifle. For your heavy, run either a linear fusion rifle or a rocket launcher, that is preferably Arc. For player 2, run Arbalest for your primary. For your secondary, run either an Arc Bow or an Arc Scout Rifle. For your heavy, run either the same heavy as player 1 or run an LMG for an additional source of overload. For player 3, run either a Blinding Grenade Launcher or a Scout Rifle in your primary, and your secondary, run either Divinity or a Scout Rifle, and in your heavy, run an Arc Linear or Gallahorn. For subclasses, Arc Titans dominate this GM, so running 1 or 2 of these wouldn't hurt. Otherwise, Void Hunters, Will or Stasis Warlocks, and Solar or Void Titans will crush this GM easily. Finally, for mods, run Thermo Shock Plating, Concussive Dampener, and Sniper Resist so that you will tank most damage in this strike. With that being said, let's get to the guide. When starting the strike, have your team hop on your Sparrow and take this left path, as there are a smaller amount of adds to deal with compared to the longer right side. Once you reach the Warmind, have one player run to the Warmind while the other 2 stay at the load zone or run into a cave by the Big Hive ship. The reason for this is because you can actually have one player cheese this Warmind encounter by using certain sitting emotes by the Warmind. I didn't include all of them, but the ones on screen now work, and the way it works is that you have one player start the encounter by scanning the Warmind, go to the back crevice of the Warmind, walk backwards into it while crouching and using the emote. If your player's head is phasing inside of the Warmind, then it should work. I highly recommend that you have either a Thundercrash Titan or Void Hunter do this so that they can escape in case it doesn't work. If it does, push the progression to 100, and once it's done, have your teammates run forward and kill all the champions to move on. If it doesn't work, then feel free to hop on and hop off to spawn more adds for a safer clear. Once the Warmind progression reaches 100, then you can move on. The next encounter is arguably the hardest part of this GM. When your team enters the room, immediately run to the hallway on your left, as this will be your cover for this area. Once you've reached this hallway, start to focus on the main group of adds in the outside area. Occasionally, your team will receive some melee vandals from the bunker doors side of the room. When these spawn, kill them immediately or else they will send your team to orbit fast. Once they're dead, continue to focus on the adds outside until they are all dead. Once all adds are dead, have your team stay in the hallway and have one player run out to destroy the bunker security. Doing this will spawn more adds such as Explosive Shanks, Overload champs, and more. Kill all the adds while getting finishers on champs if necessary, then move on. For the Arc Tunnel, you can have one Arc player run to the end, get a finisher on one of the Sniper Shanks, and grab the relic to be amplified. If you don't have an Arc player on your team, then just run to the end, grab the relic, and continuously slide down the hallway until you reach the end point. As you are making your way down the hallway, have your teammates kill all the newly spawning Shanks so that the endpoint is clear. Make sure that you wait until an Arc Beam passes by before you go, or else you'll run the risk of being zapped to death. Once you've deposited the relic, you can move on. When you reach the next room, feel free to pop a tether in the middle of the room to try and capture as many adds if your team needs some assistance when clearing this room. Otherwise, your team can just sit at the Arc Tunnel exit and kill the opening adds before making your way into the room. If your team begins to take a lot of damage, run into the Arc Tunnel and use it for protection. Clear out this room while getting finishes if necessary, then do the same for the next few wave of adds that will spawn in the room's exit. Once all adds are dead and champions are dead, make your way to the next room where you'll do the same. Kill all adds, get some finishers to stock up on heavy, then make your way to the final boss fight. When you make it to the final room, kill the adds that spawn, then run to the far right side of their area. Your team will want to stay here for most of the fight and use it as cover. When the boss pops up from the ground, drop his health enough to send him into his first immune phase. When the boss teleports to the middle of the room, have your team focus the adds that spawn. You'll have some Shanks and a Barrier champ, with the Barrier champ ending the immune phase, so only kill him once your team is ready. Once the Barrier champ is dead, drop the boss to half health, and once the boss is at half health, rotate from the right side to the left side and kill all the adds that spawn in. Once all adds are dead, melt the boss immediately to make for an easy completion of the Fallen S.A.B.E.R Grandmaster. That wraps up today's guide. If you found this video helpful, consider dropping a like and subscribing for more Destiny content dropping every week. Be sure to follow me on my social media accounts, all links in the description below to keep up with me and my content. With that being said, I'm SniperKH, and I'm out. Good luck with gaming.